It was a story that captured the attention of the world, and we want to warn our audience that the following may be disturbing for some of you. It's been 25 years since the relationship of John Wayne and Lorena Bobbitt made international headlines. After years of alleged abuse by John, Lorena cut off her husband's penis. Well, now a new documentary series explores the aftermath of the Bobbitt story. Let's take a look at Lorena.
The interest level was huge.
Court TV is bringing the proceedings into millions of homes.
People were like, that's crazy.
This story was irresistible.
Everybody was looking to get an interview.
Guilt or innocence will come down to whom the jurors believe.
What did he do to make her do something like that?
For more on this, for more on Lorena, I'm joined by Lorena Gallo, formerly known as Lorena Bobbitt. She joins me from Los Angeles today. Lorena, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Absolutely. It has been 25 years since the incident which captured the world's attention. Reporters came from everywhere to cover both of these court cases. Why do you think that was the case?
I believe that the case was very sensationalistic by the media, and unfortunately, there were different times. There was the 90s, and reporters used to tend to sensationalize every story, of course, so that draw attention to it, to the very essence of, they missed the very essence of my story, which is spousal abuse and sexual assault.
I want to read you a quote here. This is from Katie Rofi. She wrote, she's a feminist author. She wrote for the New York Times, this at the time of the case. She said, Lorena Bobbitt has become a symbol of female rage. With the primal cut, she exposed the raw hostility between the sexes that is usually clothed in everyday social interaction. We need to understand the part of a woman's movement that yearns for Lorena Bobbitt. When you hear that, what goes through your mind?
Everybody has opinions, and obviously, I believe that's a feminist statement. And basically, you know, everybody's entitled to everybody's opinion. Everything that they heard or something is an opinion. So, I mean, we are in this country, and they're free to voice their own opinions.
And I think your story, a lot of feminists, a lot of women were trying to sort of pull away the layers and say this is a much bigger story than what's being sensationalized. It is now 25 years later, and you've decided to share your story now. Why is that so important? Why now?
That's correct. I've been an advocate for more than 20 years now, and every time, there's not a day that passes by that I hear of case of domestic violence or sexual assault in my neighborhood or my community, and it's really affect the whole world. It's not only here in the United States. So I grew concerned to voice my case again, actually, to tell my story again. And again, I have a voice, and it only grew stronger. Part of that was to actually educate people and create awareness on domestic violence and sexual assault. That's why.
Can you remind our viewers what happened that night in 1993?
You have to see the documentary. It's all in the documentary.
Okay. Well, we know that there was it was a very difficult time, obviously, for you.
That's right.
And there was a great deal of media coverage, as you recall, and that's in the documentary as well. You didn't want to take a plea deal at the time because you thought it would impact your status as an American. I'm going to show a clip here first before I get your answer on that.
He said, "You'll do 4 months in jail for admitting that this was premeditated." Lorena said, if I submit to a felony, I can never become an American citizen. She said, I'm going to risk 20 years in a prison because I want to be an American.
I said, no, I'm not a failure. If I go back, there's no way. But that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. I want to be here.
Why was it so important for you to stay in America, to be an American, Lorena?
It is very important because that's my American dream. I dream to stay in the United States, and I basically, you know, things that I wanted to actually be very, with hard work. I mean, since I was a little, my parents actually told me that with hard work, you can achieve whatever you want. And this is one of the greatest country in the world. And I am very happy and blessed to be here in the United States. So it's still, I believe that, this is what I wanted to be at. And I've raised my family, and I stay here. And that was very important to me, and it's still important to me.
And you certainly did that and gave yourself a voice. You're an activist now. In 2008, you started the Lorena Gallo Foundation that really speaks to what you want to prevent. Talk to me more about the foundation and how it's helping other women.
Yes. After my trial, I went and worked in the community shelters, and I'm a facilitator, and I hear so many stories of abuse and sexual abuse through the ladies that go through the program. And I realized, well, I listened to the story, they listened to mine, and basically that's exactly what I wanted to create awareness against domestic violence and sexual assault. And this actually was a platform to do this documentary. And I love to be an advocate. I've been an advocate for so many years now. And I will continue my work as an advocate to raise awareness against domestic violence through my foundation and to educate people, because sadly there's a lot of people who don't understand how domestic violence, the pattern of domestic violence, and again is a health issue that it's affecting all of us. I mean, men, women, children, including. So I decided to do this through my foundation to create awareness and educate more people about these issues, social epidemics.
Yeah, and I've gone onto the Facebook page there, and one of the stats that really stands out: a woman is battered every 15 seconds. Before I let you go, I wanted to ask you, how do you think things would have been different if how your case would have been different, your story, had it happened today in light of the Me Too movement?
If that would happen today, I believe that my ex-husband would have had a conviction. And yes, the Me Too movement have helped raise awareness, but it's still a lot more work to do in order to educate and raise awareness. That's why it's important to raise awareness about this sexual assaults and domestic violence. And again, the Time's Up, the Me Too movement have actually helped break the stigma of sexual harassment and sexual assault. But again, there's a lot of work to be done.
Do you think you would have been more protected today than what happened back then? Because back then, everyone was talking about the act, the incident, but not the reasons why, not your calls about domestic violence that you were experiencing.
Yes, there is a lot of issues with victimization still happen in our justice systems, unfortunately, and that's one of the gaps that need to be closed. And I believe that things have changed, and we're setting ourselves in the right directions. But again, there's one of those things that needs to be changed, and the case I will be treated differently. Now we have raised awareness, of course, against issues like domestic violence and sexual assault, but it would be different. It would be, times have changed a lot, and now people are more concerned. They're more sympathetic about the victims, and also the media have grown sympathetic about sexism and domestic violence and abuse in general.
The documentary is called Lorena Gallo, joining me in Los Angeles. Lorena, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. It's been quite lovely speaking with you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Thank you.